Welcome everyone to Android Outlook. In this one or two videos we are going to create this application where we will be using the two fragments. The top fragment includes the list view and the bottom fragment includes just the simple text view, and when I click on one of these items in the list view, its description will be shown up in the bottom fragment. So let's see. This is the description of the activity, and we can even scroll this. So this is the layout for the portrait mode, and if I rotate this application, its layout will be changed dynamically, and when I click on one of these items, its description will be shown in the right part of this application in the case of landscape mode. So let's create this application now. Here I have created the empty project called More on Fragments. So in order to create this application, we are going to use the two fragments here. So let's just create the two fragments first. So let me start from the Java part. So Java equals to top fragment. Let me do this like list fragment, and then it is going to extend the fragment class, and we need to override the method called onCreateView method as I already do, and then we need to return the layout. It's gonna be inflator.inflate or dot layout dot list underscore fragment. Alright, so container and then false. We need to create the layout of this. So let's just put the linear layout for this case and hit OK, and let me drag a list view here. And its ID is list view. So let me create the another fragment. So it's gonna be detail fragment, and it is also going to extend the fragment class, and as we already do on create view, right, to return the layout. So inflator.inflate r.layout dot, let's just say detail underscore fragment in this case, container and false, and we need to create this layout. So alt enter plus to create the layout and hit and place linear layout as the root element, and there we go, our second layout of the fragment. So and then let's just drag the text here, and now let us specify some padding. So it's 10 dp, and now we need to link these two fragment in our activity underscore main, right? So there we go, our activity underscore main. So let me first change the relative layout to the linear layout because it makes the positioning a little bit easier. So let me remove this margins as well. So, and I need to specify the orientation. Let it be a vertical this time. So I need to come in here and drag the fragment. So first one is the list fragment, and another one is going to be the detail fragment in this case. So detail fragment, so I need to put the below it and choose the layout as the detail underscore fragment. So this is going to be our layout of the activity underscore main. So let me specify the height of this list fragment as 200 dp maybe. Okay, so this allows us to see it properly, and the height of this detail fragment as the match parent. Okay, so let me slightly increase the height as 300 dp. Alright, now we need to also prepare the data source. So let me come into the resource, values, and then strings. So I'm going to create the array string here. So it's going to be string array, and it is going to name it as the topics, and the item as. So I'm going to pause this video and prepare the data source. Alright, so I have prepared the data source. So first string array name is topics. So, and this is our 4 topics: activities, services, broadcast receiver, and content providers. And there is the another string array called description, and these are the items and its descriptions there. So our string part is finished, and now we need to populate this list view, right? So let me come to the list fragment, and I need to create the reference of the list view here. So list view, it's gonna be list view, and then in on activity created method I can initialize this list view as get activity dot find view by id order id dot list view. Since our id of this list view is, let's say, list view itself, so cast this, so we have linked this. And now we need to prepare the data, right? Data in array adapter. So it's going to be array adapter dot create from resources, and the first parameter is going to be the context, so get activity, and the second parameter is going to have the resource of that layout, resource of the data. So it's going to be r dot array dot topics. So another one is layout resources, so it's going to be android dot r dot layout simple list view item 1. So we have also prepared the adapter, and now we need to set this adapter to the list view. So it's going to be list view dot set adapter, and then in our case it's array adapter. So we have prepared the, so we have populated the list item as well, and now we need to have the set on item click listener on this list view. So it's going to be list view dot set on item click listener. So just specify the object, and we need to implement on item click listener. So, and there we go, and here this position gives the position of the item that was clicked. So let me make some free space here. Now whenever this item is clicked, we want to send this position to the activity, and the activity is going to send that index to the detail fragment, so that we can match the index and show the proper description here. So for this, let's just use the previous model of communication with the help of the interface. So let us create the one interface here. So communicator, and let's just make this interface as communicator, and then we need to make this as interface, and it's going to have the function called communicate. And our main activity is going to implement this method. So let's just implement it. So it's going to implement communicator, and we need to override its method called communicate. So this is the simple Java principle. And now come to the list fragment, and then we need to have this communicator reference here. So communicator, and in attached method we need to say communicate equals to context, and we need to typecast this. Alright, now what we can do is we can call this communicate with the help of this communicator and send the data, send the position here. So it's gonna be position, and let me create now let me make the changes in the communicate as well. So it's going to be position, so let me copy it and make the changes to the communication function as well. So this is going to take care of everything. Now that we have sent this position variable to the main activity, and now this main activity needs to send this position to the fragment B. So this is how we communicated in the previous part as well. And now we need to have the reference to this detail fragment, and we can get that reference as detail fragment equals to get support fragment manager dot find fragment by ID, and the ID of the fragment is, so let's check, so it's gonna be fragment 2. So let me come to the main activity, and it's gonna be r.id.fragment2 in this case. So we have got the reference to this detailed fragment, and we also need to typecast it. So now let's call a function detail fragment dot receive position, and there we go. And now it's showing error because we have not created this method yet. So let's create this method. So let me correct its name. So now let us create this function. So this is our function now, and this function is responsible for the updating the detail of this fragment. So now we need to get the reference to this text view. So the text view is, so text view ID is text view itself. Now we need to get this reference. So text view is going to be text view, and in here we can do so like this, so that we can get this reference to this text view. And now we need to show the proper description. So it's going to be string. So first of all we want to get this string array, so it's going to be descriptions get resources, because we want to get this description from the resources. So get a string array, added array dot description, right? So we have get the all of those description from here, and now all we need to do is show the appropriate description. So it's going to be set text and then description, and the position that we have got is, it's going to be position, and this position will be obtained from this function. So it's going to be in position, and we also need to make the changes to the main activity, and we can send this position from here. Alright, so we have got successfully communicated this. Now let us run this project. It run, and here is our sweet application. So the top part represents the list view fragment, and the bottom part represents the detail fragment. So when I click on the one of the item in the list view, it should update this last text and to its description. So let me click the activities, and there you go. This is the description of the activities, and this is the description of services, broadcast, and content provider. So since this video is already large, we are going to cover the rest of the part in the next video. So, and I will see you then. Thank you for watching.